Hi everyone, Eileen back with you. Right, this is my Lavinia stamps video tutorial from me to you, and today I'm going to do some blending with Distress Oxides. Haven't used my oxides pads for ages. Now this card, I'm looking through the camera, the light is really bad down here today, very overcast, bit stormy, and this card looks very dark, and well, it is darkish, but it isn't as dark as it appears on my camera. So I'm hoping that you're getting a better quality of colour than I'm aware of at the moment. Right, enough waffling. Let's go. A piece of copy paper folded. A piece underneath to protect my mat or my work from ink getting on the mat and then sliding in places that I don't want it to be. And I've got a piece of cardstock, and this is multifarious cardstock from Lavinia Stamps, and I've cut this topper to 14 centimetres by 11 centimetres, and I'm laying it down sideways actually to start my blend. And I've got this piece of copy paper that I've folded to protect my work from the oil in my fingers. But mind this crease here. Don't get this anywhere near where you're blending, because if you accidentally blend over this area here, you'll get a line and you won't be able to get rid of it easily. I'm using the biggest makeup brushes that I can find. These are for applying foundation, I think. I've got these from Sweet Bobby Stencils, and they're brilliant. Two there, and then I've got another one from Amazon, and this is great, although it hasn't got the handle that I like, but it's still good. One for each colour that I'm using, and the colours I'm using are Picked Raspberry, Peacock Feathers, Squeeze Lemonade, yes, old favourites. Primary colours should give me a good blend. Starting off with Peacock Feathers. And one of the brushes that I've dedicated to blue tones, which is this one. So load up the brush, protect my work, and then just to hold my card down firmly, starting from off the page, and I'm sort of grinding the brush into the cardstock. And again, pressing quite firmly, grinding it into the cardstock. Don't worry about the wispy bits here. Just concentrate on this bottom area and just keep going over it, applying another layer of ink each time until you get a really good smooth blend. One thing about oxides, they do blend so easily. Right, going up the card a bit more. And then swapping over to Picked Raspberry. And my next red tones brush. And I just will wipe these over onto kitchen towel. But you need to be careful when you're using oxides. If you go back to normal distress, the normal distress inks don't mind a little bit of oxides over the top of them, mixed in with them. They don't mind it at all. But oxide inks do not like any other inks contaminating them. They don't like it, so I try and keep some brushes just for oxide work, and then I've got other brushes that I use for other dye-based inks. So I've got pink, and then I'm starting just up. Again, strong grinding type motion, so I've now got some purple there, and going down a bit. So it blends in with the blue. And then up a bit more, move this edge well away. And then we like to give the pink area its own identity as well. I'm really grinding this in, really pushing hard, really gripping the brush and pushing it into the cardstock. It's a joy of multifarious cardstock. It's super smooth and it's a good weight. So it will take all sorts of punishment, really. Right, swapping it round this way, because now I'm going to apply Squeeze Lemonade with my last makeup brush, which is for yellow tones in the Oxide range. Now I want some of this to be white here, so I'm coming down a bit. And this is a different, I can feel this brush is softer than the other two. I prefer the other two, if I'm absolutely honest. This one, the bristles are a bit soft, but it's still giving me the look I want. So I've got some orange tones now, where the pink and the yellow are mixing. But I've still got a little bit of yellow. And I want to, now lightly now, I've gone from grinding in cardstock to kissing it. Just floating the brush over the top so that it's very gentle and it's just coming up the card, not right to the top, but it's giving me a softer fade out look. Okay, so that's not bad. That's not bad at all. Now, if your blend isn't very good, it doesn't matter, because the next part of this technique is to add some water through a stencil. And this will take out any lumps and bumps or ridges or mistakes that you've made in your blending. It will just disguise it all. So I'm just removing these brushes away because I've finished with them. Now I've got some kitchen towel here. I want a couple of sheets of that. Getting ready. Yeah, it's very dark in the camera. I mean, I've got really nice colours here. I hope that it isn't, I hope it's not too dark that you're getting, because it really is not showing the colours up to their best. Anyway, no worries. Let's carry on. Quick slurp of coffee. Water. Stencil. This is nice, isn't it? You'd think it was called Leaves, wouldn't you? It's a Lavinia stamp stencil. Well, it isn't. It's called, well, it is a Lavinia stamps, but it's called Flurry. It's not Leaves, but it is Leaves, but it's called Flurry, and it's lovely. Sorry, Trace. Okay. I've got the pickle in me today. It's the weekend. I do love the weekend. So I'm just popping this round the right way. Oh, keep these bits of copy paper. Look at that, look. Keep these bits of copy paper. You can do some really fabulous abstract backgrounds with these. So popping on my Flurry stencil, like so, not going right to the top, just in the coloured area, maybe a smidgen above. Oh, no. Okay, as you were, let's go back a bit. I'm getting carried away now. First of all, I have to wet the stencil. That would be a good idea. So wetting a fair amount, liberal with the water, the middle of the stencil, and then just tap it on your mat to remove the larger droplets and drips. Mop it up. Bring this back over so you can see okay. And then down, water side down onto your card, gently. Piece of kitchen towel, gently over the top, smooth it out, gaze out of the window, drink your coffee, see if you can spy on the neighbours. This is me, not you. No one's around today. Okay. Right. lift up, lovely pattern. Not all over, bit missing there, no problem. Bit more water on the stencil. And then I'm just going to gently lay that down, press it down, and fill in any areas that didn't come out the first time. There you go. And that will carry on bleaching for a little while until you apply heat. So I'm going to apply the heat now and stop the bleaching effect. Hello, Eric. Make sure that is thoroughly dry. It isn't at the moment. That's better. Right, so that's better, yes. So we're finished with the stencil. And now on to the stamping. And you can use a stamp press if you want to, but I'm going for my stamp mat. I'm using the small one today. Pop that underneath the copy paper. And away we go. I'm looking for my original card now because I need to know what I did. Which is daft because I only made this yesterday. In fact, no, I didn't. This was this morning's. Yeah, I don't know. I forget. Right. Now, I've got the words to put on. And this is Fairy Spells. Beautiful words and all in different fonts. Few words here. Fairy, celestial, delight, enchanted. Loads. And I'm using Versafine Clair in the blue. Warm Breeze, this is called. First generation off. Make sure it's up the right way. And then onto my card, and it's just off the card, but to the top, and press down. And not pressing too heavily. Just gently. That will do. And then over towards the middle a bit more. And again, not inking up. Very gently. You can just about see that the words there. That's texture I'm after. And then down to the bottom again and off the card. But I'm really pressing heavily now to give me the last of that ink. And it has, not a lot, but that will do. That's fine. Just adds a little bit more interest in the background. And then I need Versafine Clair Nocturne and the beautiful Raven stamp. And here she is. She is quite a large stamp. So this is a fairly juicy ink pad, gentle tapping all over, especially the body of the fairy, because she's quite a solid stamp. Beautiful, beautiful. I think that will do. Turning my cardstock round, like so, and then I'm going to pop her down about the middle of the card. I'll make sure that that tree stump or whatever it is, the branch that she's on, is just off your card so that she's not hanging around in midair. And then and down. Let the ink soak in. And then pressing quite firmly all over and up. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful image. Look at that. Gorgeous image. Right, now she needs a bit of a dry because there's a fair amount of ink on there and she's a bit wet. And then I added a little bit of a few dots and spots with a silver pen. I had to say, it really didn't show up very much, so it didn't do a lot for me on the original card. But, you know, it adds interest and keeps you out of trouble for a little bit longer. So I'm adding them in again. You try gold if you don't like the silver. This is that a silver sparkle pen from Uniball. Sparkling. Yep. I know Tracy's got a few of these pens on her website. So just adding a bit of interest here and there. I don't know if you can see that very well, so I'm going to hold it up to the camera, like so. Oh, the colours look better too. Colours are more natural, not so dark. Can you see the silver? Look at that. Isn't she lovely? She's beautiful. Right, enough of that. Now, then I'm going to do another bit of stamping. And this is from Birthday Wishes I'm going to put on. And this is from the Heartfelt Verses set. The new set of stamps with love, just for you, birthday wishes, and with love and sympathy. And I'm using Black Nocturne again, like so. Gentle tapping. And then round about there, I think, trying to keep it straight. And then down and up. Oh, that's not bad. Lovely font. A bit more drying. For some reason, the ink on the top of oxides needs a little bit of help to dry, this pigment ink. I don't know if it's the properties in the oxides, because they've got pigments in as well, haven't they, as dye-based stuff. And now, what else do I want? Oh yeah, then I want a small makeup brush. And also a white Posca pen again, paint pen. Which is here. And my perfect layers to whack the Posca paint pen with. So we'll start off with the whacking. Good old shake. Before I do, I need to mask my fairy. I don't want any paint all over her. So I'm taking a wet cloth and just taking off all of the ink from my stamp. Dry cloth just to dry her off. Otherwise, if she's wet, you'll reactivate the ink on there, and I don't want to do that. And then if she's dry, which I will just test, just blotting to see if she's dry-ish. Yeah, she's not bad. I'm just going to pop this stamp very gently over the top. Saves me making a mask. But you can only do that if your stamp is really clean. And then around the edge, just to bring it all together and add a bit more interest. A few splats in white. Not too many. Take that off, and so everywhere else she's nice and paint free. And I've got a black pigment ink pen because I want to remove and make my wishes, the W in wishes, look more prominent and take the white splashes out of that. That's better. All right. It's all this sort of little detail and taking the trouble that can make a big difference to your cards. You know, I really enjoy making them, and I've had lots of practice, years in fact. And as they say, practice makes perfect. Well, I'm not perfect, but I'm not bad. Now, next, oh yes, around the edges of the card, avoiding where you've just splashed the paint. And I'm using Warm Breeze, like so. Avoiding the top part, I'm not doing that, but I'm just going to bring in, using a smaller brush and a dry piece of copy paper, just a little Warm Breeze, just to bring in very gently, just to frame it, like so. A bit more on the corners, add a bit more depth, colour. My original card, it didn't really have much of the peacock blue showing. I like this one better. I'll show you in a minute what I mean. I'd put on too much pink over the top of the original card, and it was more purple than this one. But I like this one better, I think. All right. Then before I finish, I'm taking a black Sharpie . And again, holding my card down firmly with some clean copy paper. Just going to go round that edge again. And that. And this is off the card. I'm using the card as a guide for drawing the line onto the copy paper, and consequently you'll get a very tiny slither of the black from the Sharpie on your card, but it isn't actually a line on the top of the card. It's just covering the sides there, and I do like the way that finishes it off. Right. So just quickly, I want to show you this. So it depends on how you blend on the colour scheme that you get. Now, I've used exactly the same colours here, but I use the pink a lot into the yellow area, so I've got orange. And I also use the pink into the blue area more, so that I've got purple. Now, I don't dislike that. I think that looks really pretty. But here, I've got the integrity of the colours more. So I've got the blend, but at the same time, you can still see each colour has its own identity. So you pay your money and takes your choice, and it doesn't matter which one you do. There's nothing wrong or right. They're both right. So I just really enjoyed that. Now, I made a card blank, fold. And I think I did this, it was 15, I've written it on, yes. 18 centimetres by 15 centimetres. And I used some foam tape, raised it up, and then popped my card in the middle, like that. I don't think I've forgotten anything. Let me just have another quick look. Nope. There you go. It's not quite as solid as it should be, but it will be once the foam tape pads are on. That was fun. I enjoyed it. I hope that you enjoy it too. Thank you so much for all the lovely comments you leave me. And also people that, some of you are subscribing to my YouTube channel. Thank you very much for that. It's really appreciated. And I'll see you soon next weekend. 2 more Lavinia Stamps video tutorials from me to you. Bye for now. Take care.